You're not gonna believe what's brewing in Houston right now. The Rockets didn't just pull off one of the biggest trades of the offseason by landing Kevin Durant. They might be lining up an even bigger move that could keep him in Texas for years. We're talking about a potential $122 million contract extension for one of the most decorated players in NBA history. But here's the kicker. Because of the NBA's over 38 rule, no team can extend him beyond 2 years. That means Houston has to make a choice. Go all in on KD right now, or play it safe and see how things unfold. Let's back up for a second. Kevin Durant is entering the final year of his current deal, which pays him a whopping $54.7 million this season. According to NBC Sports, the Rockets can legally offer him a 2-year, $122.1 million extension, and Durant would still be eligible for that max money despite his age. But NBA insider reports suggest he might be willing to accept less, somewhere around $100 million for 2 years, which is still about $50 million a season. That kind of discount could open the door for Houston to add more talent around him. Of course, it's not as simple as writing a check. Tim McMahon of ESPN has reported that Houston's front office might not be ready to commit the full max to Durant. The hesitation isn't about talent. KD is still an elite scorer who averaged 26.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists last season. It's about age, injury history, and long-term flexibility. At 36 years old, Durant is closer to the end of his career than the beginning. Committing over $60 million per season could limit the Rockets' ability to build depth in the coming years. This all comes after the Rockets shook up the league by trading for Durant in the first place. To get him from the Phoenix Suns, Houston gave up Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, and 5 second-rounders. That's a massive haul, signaling that the Rockets are officially done with rebuilding and ready to chase a championship right now. Pairing Durant with rising big man Alperen Sengun, versatile forward Jabari Smith Jr., and veteran guard Fred VanVleet gives Houston one of the most dangerous starting lineups in the Western Conference. Durant's fit with this roster is almost perfect. He's a proven playoff performer, a 2-time Finals MVP, and someone who can take over games in crunch time. Last season, he shot an incredible 52.7% from the field and 43% from three-point range, proving that even in his mid-30s, he's still one of the most efficient scorers alive. For a young Rockets team that's been hungry for playoff experience, having KD on the floor in big moments could be the difference between a second-round exit and a finals run. The question is, how much are you willing to pay for that kind of impact when the player is 36? The over 38 rule exists to prevent teams from giving long, backloaded contracts to aging stars, but it also means a short-term deal for Durant would have to carry a massive yearly salary to make it worth his while. That's where the rumored $100 million figure comes in. It's a compromise. Less than the max, but still superstar money. And for Houston, it could be the sweet spot between securing KD and keeping cap flexibility. From Durant's perspective, the decision isn't just about money. He's been on multiple teams in the last few years, from Golden State to Brooklyn to Phoenix, and now Houston. At this point in his career, stability and a real shot at another championship might matter more than squeezing every last dollar out of his deal. If the Rockets can convince him they're serious contenders and not just a team making headlines, that could be enough to keep him in red and black for a couple more years. Meanwhile, the Rockets front office has to consider the bigger picture. This is still a young team at its core, with players like Amen Thompson and Tari Eason developing quickly. Locking up Durant could send a message to the league that Houston is all business, but it could also put pressure on the team to win immediately. A massive extension means there's no going back. You're in championship or bust mode for the next 2 seasons. That's a bold place to be in the loaded Western Conference. It's also worth noting that Houston finished second in the West last year with a 52-30 record, but still got bounced in the first round by Golden State. That series showed both their potential and their weaknesses. Adding Durant addresses some of those weaknesses, but not all of them. Depth, defense, and consistency are still question marks. If they commit over $100 million to KD, they'll have to fill those gaps with bargain contracts, rookies, and smart trades, because there won't be much cap room left. One thing that makes this situation fascinating is how public the discussion has been. Normally, max extensions for superstars are done behind closed doors, but between NBC Sports reports, McMahon's ESPN comments, and whispers from Summer League, it's clear that both sides are feeling out the public reaction. That could be a strategic move, testing how fans and analysts respond before locking in a deal. After all, this isn't just a basketball decision. It's a business one, and KD is one of the most marketable players in the NBA. As for the fans, the reaction has been split. Some are saying, just give KD the max and go win a title. Others are more cautious, pointing to past injuries and the fact that the Western Conference is stacked with younger, faster teams. The truth is probably somewhere in between. Durant is still elite, but 2 years is a short window, and every dollar counts in roster building. The Rockets have to get this right if they want to avoid the pitfalls that other teams have faced when going all in on aging stars. So here's where we stand. Kevin Durant is in Houston, the team is a contender, and a 2-year extension worth somewhere between $100 million and $122 million is on the table. The Rockets have the talent, the momentum, and the fan support to make a deep playoff run. The only question now is whether they're ready to lock in their future on one of the game's all-time greats. Whatever decision they make, one thing's for sure, the rest of the NBA will be watching closely. Because if KD and the Rockets click, this could be the start of something big in H-Town. If we zoom out and look at Durant's career, this moment feels like a crossroads. He's already achieved everything a player could dream of. Multiple championships, MVP awards, scoring titles, and a spot on the NBA's 75th anniversary team. But what's still up for grabs is how his final chapter will be remembered. Joining the Rockets and potentially leading them to a title could add a powerful ending to his legacy, proving he can win in yet another city. With yet another core, Houston offers him a chance to be the difference maker on a team with raw talent, veteran leadership, and an eager fan base ready to embrace him as their superstar. It's rare for a player of Durant's stature to still have that something to prove energy, but this move might be the perfect storm for exactly that. On the other side of the equation, the Rockets are balancing excitement with caution. History has shown that maxing out aging stars can be a gamble. Just look at some recent contracts that ended up weighing down franchises. But the difference here is that Durant is still producing at an elite level, and the NBA's short extension rules actually protect Houston from a long-term cap disaster. The real risk isn't the length of the deal, it's the size of the paycheck and the opportunity cost. Every dollar tied up in Durant is a dollar that can't go towards shoring up the bench or adding defensive specialists. But if KD delivers what he's capable of, even 2 years at the max could pay for itself in playoff success, ticket sales, and national exposure. As training camp approaches, the Rockets front office knows the clock is ticking. The decision on Durant's extension doesn't have to be made overnight, but every game he plays without a deal on the table increases the risk that other teams will start circling. Championship windows in the NBA are short, and Houston is standing at the edge of one right now. Locking in Durant could solidify their position as one of the league's top contenders. But waiting too long could invite uncertainty into the locker room. In a league where momentum is everything, the Rockets have a golden opportunity to send a message. Houston isn't just a stop on KD's journey. It's the place where his story continues, and maybe where it reaches its ultimate peak.